There's your final score tonight, 115-101. Rockets in control of this game. They were up 8 at halftime. Never trailed in the second half. Built a 21-point lead. Nuggets cut it to 5, but the Rockets making the plays down the stretch and win this one comfortably by 14. Texas Mattress Makers gives us our put-them-to-bed moment tonight. Rockets three-point shooting. I tell you what, if a team's going to shoot 53% from three-point range, they're going to win a lot of those games. Tonight, the Rockets with 19 three-pointers made.
Yeah, but Kevin, if you look at the spacing that the Rockets have, they got their shot because the defense was out of position. There was no urgency. Nobody rushed anything. They moved the ball around extremely well, and the shooters shot the ball. See, everybody can't shoot a three. You've got to know your position, but the shooters, the three-point shooters tonight got the looks.
And you see the difference in philosophy with this organization because, 4 years ago, it was all about volume three-point shooting. The thought process was the more threes you shoot, the more you're going to make.
That was D'Antoni's theory.
Yeah, it's, and the old, remember you heard us, they tell us all the time, three's bigger than two.
If you make them.
If you make them.
If you make them. What the Rockets are doing, and under the new regime with Udoka, is they're taking what the defense is giving them. Mm-hmm. They want the three, but they don't necessarily have to take the three.
And they shoot fewer threes, but they make a higher percentage.
Well, they're going
of those
for
threes.
Quality instead of quantity.
Very good. All right, speaking of quality, let's go back out to the guys who called this one. Greg Ackerman and Ryan Hollins, guys.
I appreciate it, fellas. Indeed, an important game here today in Denver for the Rockets. Ryan, I don't think that can be understated, especially, and look, I realize it's December, it's a regular season game, but Denver's a legit championship contender. They've been on a roll playing as well as anybody in the league. They'd won 6 straight games. The Rockets, in a controversial but painful loss, got beat here earlier in the week and then blew a 25-point lead in New Orleans for their worst loss of the season. They had to respond here today, again, against a Denver team playing great basketball, and they did just that. And we saw from the word go that Kevin Durant was not going to allow this team to lose here in this one.
When I think of what we saw tonight from Kevin Durant, and of course I'm thinking about that Pelicans game, and understand this is new for him, getting used to his new teammates, growing in chemistry. There was frustration from him in the side in that Pelicans game that I'm getting off the ball. There's nothing being done when I'm double teamed. This is frustrating. Are we really going to blow a 25-point lead? That happened. But I thought tonight his leadership was special in the sense that he came out with fire. He led by example. He cheered his teammates on. And then he made the game edgy. And he gave confidence to Reed Sheppard and Alperen Sengun.
This is a team that needs Thompson. They have to play. We saw it last year, right? This is a group that still has to play edgy.
You saw a group, we'll just call it for what it is, that started getting too cute. That got away from, hey, we pressure the basketball, we rebound, we do a lot of, we're edgy, we're those physical things, we're physical, that makes us good. And again, the offense just skyrocketed with Kevin Durant, and sometimes things can be too good in Alperen Sengun's growth. But getting back to what made you good, and what's even more impressive here, Houston loses the second chance points. They lose the points in the paint tonight, but they shoot 53% from the field. You hold, and even keyer, you talk about the defense. Jamal Murray goes 4 for 13, Craig.
And Murray and Jokic have been great against the Rockets, and they did not have those kinds of games here today. Look, again, I talked about this in the show. Ime mentioned that the Rockets' effort defensively in the second half and overtime in New Orleans was embarrassing. And this is the best offense in the league, the best shooting team in the league, the highest scoring team in the league, the best offensive rating in the league in Denver, and the Rockets held them to their worst offensive game and shooting game of the season.
Yeah, and that's huge. And Nikola Jokic, he gets his 25, doesn't get a triple-double, and when you play great players, you want to give them one thing. You get the points or you get the assists. But you're not going to get both. But and he doesn't get the triple-double. He was a minus 20, which is ridiculous. Because
for him, I don't know if that's ever happened. I mean, it probably has on occasion, but it's rare.
And his minutes outplayed. But what Houston did is Ime said, I'm going to challenge you guys to do both. You're going to pressure the ball, and when they go back door, because they're going to go back door, Houston snapped, turned their head and made plays and got block shots, knocked the ball out of bounds. Think about that early challenge that was turned back Houston's way. So there are a lot of key plays, but the effort was there. And on a back-to-back situation, hopefully this is something that the Rockets can garner and move forward with. But the fire and the spiciness was good. And to me, I thought this was the first time as a Rocket you saw Kevin. That's Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Kevin being Kevin.
You said that there are levels to this, and he certainly knew that kind of level was needed here. Look, Jabari had another double-double, another very good game for him. But we also, before we get out of here, we got to talk about Reed Sheppard. If this wasn't a better overall game than he had in Golden State, which to this point was his best game of his career, this was certainly 1B. Reed was fantastic. And then Reed, you see a little bit of KD rubbing off him, some trash talk. He was terrific at both ends of the floor.
He was. And for me, calming down with his dribble, getting to his spots, knowing the shots that he can get off. That shot that he made, sprinting to the right corner, was ridiculous. That's one of the harder shots in basketball. Then he comes down, then he gets confident, went by Jokic. But, without P and with KD, they take so much gravity. As a great player, all great players do. But that third attack guy, the third guy to kind of go out and make a play and be aggressive and kind of run the offense, that was missing in New Orleans. That was missing here in Denver as far as from a consistency standpoint. But when he got hot, that is what this team is looking for. So hopefully, it may not be the game tonight, but somewhere in the 15 to 17-point range would pay dividends for this ball club.
All right, you wanted 2 hours of Murph in the postgame show. We just gave you about 4.5, 5 minutes of us, so Calvin's probably going to get delayed getting out of the studio tonight. So, Calvin, if you're going to blame anybody, blame Ryan Hollins. Great ball game here today/tonight, as it now is, early evening in Denver. Rockets bounce back, and hopefully they can get their first win on the second night of a back-to-back, as we'll be back with you tomorrow night from California's capital city as Houston will take on the Sacramento Kings. And so, Kevin and Calvin, a little long-winded here tonight, but I think it was important. It was worth it. Big win for Houston, and we'll talk to you again tomorroh.
You had a lot to talk about. I'm going to defend my partner, too. He's first man in, I'm telling you.
Hey, I will blame both of them knuckleheads.
Murph is always early. That is very rare for former professional athletes. I know why you get here early.
First of all, I got a phobia about being late. I do, especially here in Houston with the Houston traffic. When it comes close, I can't leave you hanging. I left you hanging one night where you were out here all by yourself.
Really?
Yeah, I was sick. And you took over the broadcast all by yourself.
Yeah, good for me.
See, you're so accustomed to being alone, you don't even remember.
I really don't remember that. We'll talk about it later. I'm sure everybody at home's really interested in that. Stick around. Rockets win tonight. Back with more here on the postgame presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. 115-101 the final. Take a look at the starting five tonight. Amen Thompson, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün. You talked about it, Murph. Alpy didn't have the big numbers type of game, but he certainly got everybody else involved. Hey, three big threes in that second quarter from Josh Okogie. We tend to forget things that happen early on in ball games. He had those big threes. Amen Thompson, 16, 6, and 4, had a couple of steals, couple of block shots. Pretty much all-around effort up and down through that starting five.
Yeah, but we've got to give my boy Jabari Smith a lot of love, because how many times do we talk about him being the X factor? And what he's doing right now is being consistent with his numbers, with his play, with his intensity at playing both ends of the floor, coming up with some big block shots, coming up with some steals, and it's almost like he's the forgotten man after a game when the Rockets play this kind of a game. But you don't win without his numbers, without his intensity.
22 and 10, knocked down 5 threes. Big night tonight for Jabari Smith Jr. Let's head back to the Rockets locker room.
Double for you. Just how are you feeling it tonight and able to kind of get in that rhythm?
Just feeding off my teammates. Kevin getting double, Alpy getting double, Reed making some good passes out of the pick and roll. I was a receiver on a lot of threes today, and I was open. So thanks to my teammates, I knocked them down.
Yep, big night from you from three-point line. Also big night for the entire team from three. Just kind of what do you think allowed for that success?
I think when we get in our spacing and we're in the right spots, I think we tend to get wide open shots and good looks. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we hunting threes or shooting bad threes. Like, we wide open, we supposed to make them. So, I think we was making them today, and the offense was flowing and the ball was moving. So, we got a lot of good looks. And Reed helped the percentage a lot too.
What do you make of Reed's performance coming off the bench?
She was hot. They kept bringing guys up in the pick and roll, and he was getting downhill, attacking, making the right play, passing. He was hooping.
What did you like about just when it got chippy and the physicality, you guys' composure and your ability to stay out of that foul trouble that sometimes you can get in?
Perfect. We love the physicality. We love when the game muck up like that. We love when it turns into a dogfight mentality. That's when we thrive. That's when we succeed. So, some teams can handle it, some can't. So, we just try to bring that same energy, same physicality every night. And if teams want to bark back, then we're ready for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great game for Jabari Smith Jr. Bad post-game interview hat. That's all I had to say. Rockets win it by 14. Back with more in just a moment. Next up, Rockets taking on the Sacramento Kings. Kings with 6 wins. Last time we checked, last opponent the Rockets had 6 wins when the Rockets left because they had 5 at the start of the game.
Well, I think the Rockets learned a little something from the first one.
I agree. Tomorrow we will start a full hour of pregame coverage on our way to tip off between the Rockets and Sacramento Kings tomorrow night. Good win tonight. Good bounce back. A lot of character in this one tonight.
You hit it right on the head. This is what good teams do. Mm-hmm. They have, a little hiccup along the way, but they don't sulk about it. They go out and make it happen in the positive.
Big night tonight. Reed Sheppard, Kevin Durant, 31 from him. Reed Sheppard goes for 28 in this one tonight as the Rockets, they cruise to a win over a very, very good Denver Nugget team. Rockets win it by 14. We'll see you tomorrow night. Our pregame on the way to the Sacramento Kings and Rockets starting tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.